Dave Lorenz along with Michelle Banache on this week's Travel Michigan program. And Michelle, where are we headed to?
We're headed to the beautiful Leelanau Peninsula, and we're talking with Andy McFarlane, director of Leelanau Wine Trail. And Andy, a lot of folks think this is the time of year to go into hibernation, but you guys have a great event coming up that toasts the season. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, Toast the Season is it's actually our most popular wine trail event. So we get over 2,000 people who have decided not yet to go into hibernation. And basically what it is, it's one of our wine trail tours, and it's a tour from tasting room to tasting room. And you start at your first location, you get your glass and your ticket, and one thing that makes this event special is we give a gift bag with food and kind of wine-related gifts to every attendee, and you can get a couple's ticket so you share a bag, or you can get a singles ticket so you have your own bag, and it's just really, it's great because one of the things about Michigan wines, the master sommelier, Claudia Tiaghi, is based out of Detroit, and one thing she always says is that the thing that she loves, and she's a wine expert, she builds menus for some of the finest restaurants in Michigan, one of the things that she loves is how well Michigan's wines work with food. And so this is a really great chance for you to get out and see how does it work with a savory dish, how does it work with a sweet dish, and to see what some of the experts in serving wine choose to do with it as you start to prepare for your holiday menu at your own parties.
I know so little about wine, even though you and others in the Traverse area have taught me some things, that this whole thing about pairing certain wines to certain foods, anything above the white goes with fish and reds go with, beef and such. Anything above that, I'm just totally, intimidated. So this sounds like an opportunity at least to learn a little bit more.
Yeah, and what we really want as wineries is we don't want people to be intimidated. That's one of the things that made it so hard for wine to become a mainstream drink, was that it was for people who stuck their nose up in the air and looked down at you because you didn't know the minutiae of the details. And that's exactly not what we're doing. We're trying to help you become comfortable and understand. And if you've never gone wine tasting, an event like our Toast of the Season is a great place to do it, but there's wineries all over Michigan, and just go out and go into a tasting room, a Sunday afternoon or whenever, and talk to people, because they will, the people who work in the tasting rooms are trying to get you to be comfortable with wine, and the last thing they want you to do is feel uncomfortable. And, one thing that I like to do is to give a real good idea of one thing that you can do. Michigan makes amazing Rieslings. And so get yourself a nice bottle of Riesling, preferably from the Leelanau Peninsula, but, anywhere in the state, we've got some great Rieslings. Take that, get yourself some apple pie and vanilla ice cream.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, I like where it's going, too.
This is good. This is a fun thing about this. Take a little bite of the apple pie and drink some water or whatever, and then try a little bit of the Riesling and space them out a little ways so that you're not tasting them together. And then try the apple pie, take a bite of the apple pie, take a sip of Riesling, take another bite of the apple pie. It will blow you away what that does to the flavor. And that's just one simple little pairing. And, as you start to become comfortable with it, you start to realize that, there are some red wines that go great with fish. There's some white wines that go great with, with beef. So, it's all about just kind of playing around with the food, which, we all like to do from a very young age, and just trying to figure out what goes with what. And you may find some things that none of your friends have found.
There is a problem with that strategy, though. The ice cream will melt.
That is a problem.
That is a problem.
So, you can have seconds on this. I'm going to give you a pass on that, Dave.
Sounds good, though. I really will try that. I really will.
Yeah.
With the Riesling. Okay, very good. And, of course, you can learn many, many other tips like that as you enjoy the Toast the Season activities coming up this coming weekend and then the next weekend. Nothing in between, though, right?
No. In between many of our tasting rooms are open during the week. You can get all the hours on the website. Something else I want to put in a plug for is we've got a brand new iPhone app that you can download for free from the Apple Store. But you can also we made our site completely mobile and tablet friendly. So, it's really lpwines.com is a great destination for any of your smartphone or pad devices.
So what do you get with the app?
Well, it gives you you can look at all the tasting rooms and you can click and you can see where they are on the map so that when you're out driving, through the hills, you can get a good idea of where wineries are. You can see the other related businesses that are in the area, lodging, restaurants, stores, all that. And, there's some other things, you can link into our events and news. So,
well, I only have a dumb phone, so, people know how to get these apps?
Yeah. If you
it's
go to
easy?
that, and I assume that you have it on your website too.
Yeah, we do have it on our website, and like I said, even if you don't have one of the Apple products, the website is completely optimized for any smartphone or tablet.
And Andy, part of what makes wine tasting on Leelanau Peninsula and in that area so enjoyable is it's beautiful up there. So talk a little bit briefly about what folks will see as well as what they're going to taste while they're up there.
Okay. Well, I will. We started a couple years ago calling the Leelanau Peninsula in our area Michigan's Wine Coast, and that's one of the neatest things about it is wineries like the same things that people like aesthetically. The vineyards are all on the hills. They need to be high up so they avoid the frost. And so when you're at most of the wineries, you're seeing these gorgeous views of Grand Traverse Bay on the east side of the peninsula and Lake Michigan. So you get to see all that, and we're starting to get into the holiday season then. So you go through the little towns, Suttons Bay, Leland, Glen Arbor, and you really see just this beautiful picturesque landscape. I mean, if you watch any of the Pure Michigan ads, you've seen things like Leland's Fishtown and the Sleeping Bear Dunes, and so that's one of the things you get to see. You'll also see, the vineyards are still pretty at that time of year, and you get that as well. But it's a gorgeous place to drive around in.
It is a beautiful area, the entire Leelanau Peninsula, and of course you can enjoy that Leelanau Wine Trail in a different way as you toast the season the next couple of weekends, the 3rd and 4th, and the 10th and 11th of November. Just $75 for couples, $50 for singles, and it looks like it's going to be a great deal of fun as you visit 8 of those 20 participating wineries as part of that whole event. Thank you, Andy. Andy McFarlane, director of the Leelanau Wine Trail. If you'd like more information, just go to lpwines.com, lpwines.com for more information. Of course, you can go to michigan.org for more information about that entire wine business in Michigan. It is about the experience of visiting these wineries and driving through the fields. My wife, of course, grew up in kind of that Berrien Springs area down in southwest Michigan, and she tells me every year there's nothing that she enjoys more this time of the year than just kind of driving through the fields, if nothing else. And of course, if you can do your research in advance and know about the special little places you should stop along the way, you're going to be able to have a great experience as you travel Michigan this late fall into the winter as well. So check it out. Go to michigan.org and maybe look for the events listing, or maybe check out some other suggested activities. And one of the things that I like to do is I will go and I'll look at the different social media icons that are on michigan.org. Google Plus, for instance, is one of the kind of newer applications. How does that work? What do you find on Google Plus?
Google Plus it's a community similar to a Twitter or a Facebook, and whether it's Google Plus, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, we are always encouraging folks to share with us their experiences traveling in Michigan. We love to hear from folks. We love to hear about new things, and get your pictures too.
And there's nothing like really getting that information from the people who are out there enjoying it. So check it out right now. Easy to get to at michigan.org. Speaking of easy to get to and a great experience, that Harbor Country is a beautiful area in that southwest Michigan section of the state. We're going to find out more about that next on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at michigan.org.